shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
To throw on second down. Bradford flush to his... And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On third down, Bradford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Now the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see in the postgame. We're ready to get to the third quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Bradford from the gun on third down. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Andy Lee now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Let's take it inside his own 40. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding room to the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Out to kick is Janikowski. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here we go. One day. Check safety. 5. Out.
On 1st and 10, Bradford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Logan. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 3rd down. At his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll indeed go for it. It's Bradford. That's to his running back, complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 on the gain there. And it's good enough for an Arizona first. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Bradford now to throw on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. In search of something here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Lets it go for Nelson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Robert Kimdichi's pro day workout, I know it was only shorts, but that's about as good a workout I've seen from a defensive lineman in a long time. Incredible speed, quickness, and power all on display, and he used every bit of that to make that play.
He was such an athlete. It's a foot race. 30, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now a carry here for Terrence West. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Bradford on first down. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contested.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. In search of something here after the sack, it's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. Back now here on EA Sports. The Cardinals on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Here we go. 40. 54. Come on. 54 flight. Check. Watch 54.
Operating from the gun. Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. He'll look to set up his blockers. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Hassan Reddick, the rookie from Temple, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Over the middle, Jerron Brown's got it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corey Peters able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down. Here's John Ryan now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And Gresham has it left side. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll run it here with Logan. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Now Bradford. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Desperation time. Bradford on 4th down. And he's got Gresham. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Bradford now. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Frank Clark in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. That's caught by Butler over the middle. And he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule, trying to get 4 downs on 1st down, they did that +3.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Muscles him off. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
2nd down, Bradford. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bradford. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. First down, Bradford. And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off at his own 46. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points.